that's a bigger problem than Donald Trump?
No, I don't. That's happening again, but it's not the government doing it. We're doing it to each other. This cancel culture bullshit, we're doing what 1984 had Oceania, the government, doing.
Dr. Phil takes on Bill Maher in a heated exchange that has left audiences buzzing. Known for his calm yet assertive demeanor, Dr. Phil faces off against Bill Maher during a fiery discussion on Maher's show, pushing back against Maher's controversial woke rhetoric with unflinching resolve. As the debate unfolds, Maher's impassioned arguments are met with Dr. Phil's composed yet cutting responses, creating an electrifying confrontation. Dr. Phil methodically dissects Maher's points, exposing contradictions and weaknesses in his arguments. The intensity builds as Maher's rant escalates, but Dr. Phil remains unshaken, delivering rebuttals that resonate with reason and clarity. This clash of perspectives highlights Dr. Phil's ability to cut through emotional outbursts and present logical counterpoints, ultimately leaving Maher at a loss for words. It's a must-see showdown that has sparked widespread discussion about the limits of wokeness and the importance of balanced dialogue. In this video, we dive into the critical moments of their exchange, breaking down Dr. Phil's arguments and how he effectively countered Bill Maher's claims. Don't miss the full breakdown of this unforgettable debate. Watch now to see how Dr. Phil left Bill Maher stunned on his own show.
Isolate them.
Who does it? COVID paranoids. That's who does it. We have a new breed of people.
And that's why I say politically, I don't care, because the Republicans started it, the Democrats continued it, and the kids, and this remote learning crap. If you look at some of the remote learning, particularly for grades 1st, 2nd, 3rd, they got 0 out of it. They got 0 out of it. That means they're now way behind. And if you're not reading on grade level at the end of the 3rd grade, your likelihood of dropping out is like 6x if you're in a low socioeconomic group.
So you may think that you're not going to be political, but you're being political. And I think it's a good place for you to go.
Well,
you know, you can't avoid it anymore. You can't avoid it. And I need allies who are like where you and I are with, yes, both sides. Now, again, I come back to Trump. You got to like be on the page that he's worse than Joe Biden and very different than Joe Biden. Come on, Doc.
Look, it's not politics that determine the outcome of society. It's culture. I don't care about politics. You go back to the beginning, and Democrat and Republicans have been in control about 50-50.
Okay, I'm disappointed that I can't get you to just out and out say that Trump is a completely different animal than the politics on the left and the right that we both agree is very lacking on both sides.
It begs the question.
He is a completely different element and much more dangerous. I mean, we're talking about some sort of unnatural predator that was introduced into this wild, which was it was a jungle in the first place. But this is a different element. Nobody else has ever tried to not concede an election in this country, try to overturn an election we all, even the people in his own party, understood was lost. That is a Rubicon that we have crossed that makes him completely unique. A unicorn, if a unicorn was a big fat asshole. If I can't have your faith on that, it's very hard for me to understand where you're coming from on any issue.
It's fascinating and ironic when you think about Bill Maher's position here. Maher, the same guy who once criticized Joy Reid and MSNBC for encouraging their viewers to cut off family members during the holidays over their support for Donald Trump, is now sitting across from Dr. Phil and pulling a similar stunt. Dr. Phil's response? Pure composure. He calmly refuses to engage in Maher's ultimatum, making it clear he won't be forced into making a declaration he doesn't believe or feel is productive. And here's where it gets interesting. Everyone, including Maher, knows why Dr. Phil won't say that Trump is worse than Biden. It's because he likely doesn't believe it. But at the same time, Dr. Phil avoids explicitly stating the reverse because he values maintaining his apolitical stance. Dr. Phil knows the stake the moment he says anything even remotely supportive of Trump, or critical of Biden, he risks being labeled as political, alt-right, or worse, a right-wing propagandist. It's a lose-lose scenario for him, and you can almost feel the tension in the room as he stares down Maher, refusing to take the bait.
I'm telling you.
Doc, you can't do it.
No, I'm telling you this. That's a cop-out. What difference does it make? A, he's not in power now. B, he's probably not going to be. And C, it doesn't. Let me ask you this. No, wait a minute. Hang on. You've read 1984 how many times?
Once.
You have a good memory.
I mean, it was like college time, but I loved it, and I certainly remember the gist, the Ministry of Truth.
Yeah, and Oceana.
Yes.
The government came in, they said, we're going to tell you what words you can use. We're going to tell you what words you can't use.
Yes.
And if you don't do it right, we're going to unperson you.
I'm all over that.
You remember all that?
I know. And by the way, the Biden administration actually tried to have this year a Ministry of Truth. They almost called it. It was very close to it. I can't remember the name.
It was close.
It was close, and it was exactly what that is. I agree.
But even beyond that, let me tell you this.
Do you think that's a bigger problem than Donald Trump?
No, I don't.
Oh,
because
great.
I don't think politics are the big problem. What I'm telling you is this. That's happening again, but it's not the government doing it. We're doing it to each other. This cancel culture bullshit, we're doing what 1984 had Oceana, the government, doing. We're doing to each other.
I understand. I couldn't agree more.
It's the culture that's the problem here. You're wanting to say, let's pick somebody and throw them against the wall, whether it's Biden or Trump or Bush or whoever. That doesn't matter. It's culture.
You know what?
Bill Maher tries to agree with Dr. Phil in principle, but the irony is glaring. Just moments earlier on this same episode, Maher was engaging in the very behavior Dr. Phil was criticizing, the relentless pressure to force people into hardline stances, perpetuating a divisive culture. Dr. Phil's point is clear. It's this constant need to pit one side against the other that's driving the cultural breakdown. Maher, like so many others, exemplifies this problem by demanding rigid ideological loyalty. Yet, as Dr. Phil points out, the world isn't black and white anymore. We have access to an overwhelming amount of information thanks to technology, and blind allegiance to any one side, whether left or right, is a symptom of being brainwashed. It's not a sustainable or rational way to approach complex issues. While conservatives may not always agree on every issue, there's a shared understanding of broader goals. This openness to debate and differing perspectives is seen as a strength that allows the right to remain united, even amid internal disagreements. Dr. Phil's argument is a crucial reminder. Both sides are guilty of contributing to the cultural divide, but the left's insistence on absolute conformity is uniquely self-destructive. The constant policing of opinions, combined with a lack of nuance, is a recipe for implosion. This cultural dynamic, as laid out in the discussion, reflects why meaningful dialogue is increasingly rare, and why both sides must take responsibility for their role in the current state of affairs. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more insightful content, don't forget to hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.